up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Busy Life Podcast. My name is Julie, and today we are going to be done with the drama. I don't know about you, but my year has been ending with a lot of drama. And it's kind of just been all over the place. There's always family drama because it's the holidays and you got to figure out, where are you going for Thanksgiving? Where are you going to go for Christmas? How are you going to see this person and this person? Oh, but don't forget this person. This person needs to see you, but this person's feelings are going to get hurt. Oh, but we got to make sure we travel here, but we got to see Uncle Joe and da, 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 da. I mean, come on. The holidays bring drama. It's just it's just part of them, and it's fine. It comes with it. In my opinion, it does always work out. And that's not the worst of it. But we've also got drama going on for me at work. There's always something going on with my friends. I mean, come on. Drama is all around us. And if we really want to dissect what drama is essentially listening to other people's problems or dealing with something that's more exciting or thrilling or stressful than we typically do. And it can be addicting. I mean, I was just listening to the Mel Robbins podcast the other day, and she had someone come on who talked about how you could legit be addicted to drama. And I'm listening to this thing and I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. I am not. I can't do that. And how certain people quite literally get a thrill out of having drama in their life, and they will create it when there isn't any because they miss it. And that makes total sense. I mean, it's like you're waiting for the thrill of something to happen, so why not create the thrill of something? And I'm listening to this thing, and I'm starting to realize there's definitely a spectrum in the sense of how much drama a person enjoys. I don't think anybody will ever live a life that has no drama in it, and I'm not going to pretend like you can either. But there's definitely a spectrum in terms of how much drama each person is willing to put up with. So as I'm listening to this episode, I'm realizing, okay, I'm definitely on the lower part of the spectrum. I like to be in my circle with my family and my friends. And of course, if there's drama going on in that little circle, we handle it, we deal with it, we move on. But I'm not exactly seeking it. Now, I would consider myself to be a safe space type of person, meaning I'm the kind of person who I want you to feel comfortable talking to me. I want you to feel like you can trust me. I want you to feel like you can come to me for something. And that kind of person is typically, the opposite of the kind of person who's creating all the drama, who's thriving on all the drama, and who needs all the drama. And sometimes opposites attract. So sometimes the crazy dramatic person finds the safe person because they feel safe with them, and they start pouring all their drama into the safe person. And now it's up to the safe person to be able to create these boundaries where I'm here for you and I'm going to listen to you, but I can't take all of your drama because I'm not on the same part of the spectrum as you are when it comes to drama. So that's kind of what I've been dealing with and what I've been learning about, not just with myself, but with the people that I spend time with. And just as I get older, and I know this is a common theme, your circles get smaller. The people that you used to talk to in elementary school, middle school, high school, college even, aren't the same people that you talk to now. And even the people that you met at your first job that you thought were going to be your BFFs forever, you still care about them and you have no ill will towards them, but they're not the ones that are coming to your wedding. Or even the people that you used to be friends with, but now they left your work, same thing. No hard feelings, but you haven't seen them in forever. And now they have kids and they're doing their own thing because their kids have friends who have moms who are your friend's friend, and life changes. But drama will always remain. And it's really up to you to make sure that as life ebbs and flows, you can ebb and flow with it, but you will also remember that we got to practice not being a people pleaser not being the person who is always vented to and the one who's always getting the emotional dump, but the one who knows how to handle this kind of thing. And I say that with such like a broad blanket spectrum. And I know that there's really no way to avoid drama because it just happens. I mean, even scary drama. Like right now, I have an uncle who is in the ICU, and that's scary drama. I mean, the minute I heard that kind of that thing, I can't even articulate it because my stomach went into 1,000 knots. And then there's, the annoying drama, the he said, she said, and this and that, and I heard this and I heard that. There's so many kinds of drama, and there's just so much out there that we can't totally avoid it. So naturally, I did the research and I found this extremely well written article by Dr. Sharon Martin. It was written back in 2018, December 18th of 2018, and it's called How to Avoid Other People's Drama. And the reason I selected this article is because I don't think you can avoid everything in life. Like I said, like I can't avoid the fact that my uncle is in the ICU and I'm thinking about him and I'm praying for him every day, and I can't avoid that. But I don't have to listen to my other friends saying what's going on with her and her friend group. That's not necessary to me. Or I don't need to hear about how much you hated traffic this morning and how much of a bitch it was for you and da 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 da, because I don't have room to carry that in my life. So again, this isn't about you completely eliminating it, but it's you finding ways to avoid other people's drama because you have to deal with your own. And like I said, drama is not a bad thing. It is just part of life. But we do get to filter the parts of it that we want to keep, and the parts that we have to keep, I should say, and the parts that we don't have to. So she mentions in her article dramatic behavior. She says that when you visit your family, do you feel like you've stepped into an episode of The Real Housewives or Big Brother? If so, you know exactly what I mean by overly dramatic behavior. It's intense, it's loud, aggressive, childish, inappropriate, or a huge emotional reaction. It frequently includes crying, yelling, gossiping, emotional dumping, which is the word I felt the most like, I resonated with the most, and acting like everything is a crisis or an emergency. So I want you to think of somebody. For me, it's not a family member, but I want you to think of somebody that you know in your life that has dramatic behavior. And I want you to think about how you feel when you're around that person. What do you usually do? Do you kind of turn into a people pleaser around them? Do you feel mentally exhausted? Do you get anxiety? Do you get angry? I mean, what do you do? I know we all either have that person in our life or had that person in our life. And sometimes the problem is that you don't even have to have had like one-on-one contact with this person. You can just feel it. Like when they're walking around and they just come by you or they quickly say something to you just in passing, you're immediately like, "Oh my God, like please go away." Been there, done that. It is all attention-seeking behavior and they're waiting for your reaction. And you don't have the time for that. You don't. I know you're busy. That's why you're here too. You were here to learn tips on how to deal with all these things that happen in life because you don't deserve to deal with the unnecessary stuff. So sometimes there's people in our lives that provide all this unnecessary drama. And it's really about time that we start putting up these boundaries. So I kept going through her article, which I love, by the way. I'm going to link it in the show notes so that way if you guys get the time, you really want to read the entire thing. I'm going to share this in the show notes, but Dr. Martin shares these 8 strategies that she says are the most effective ways to avoid the negative effects of other people's drama. You will create, quote, an invisible bubble around yourself that you can use to protect your physical and mental space and prevents mental exhaustion and anxiety. Wow. I mean, doesn't that just kind of like makes your shoulders roll back a little bit. It makes you feel like you can breathe a little bit. I need this. I need this in my life. Okay, number 1 Accept that you can't change their behavior. Remembering that you can't make people behave differently is always the first line of defense. When you interact with people with this in mind, you're less likely to give unwanted advice, engage in arguments, or be disappointed that this person is once again having a crisis. And basically, to me, what that means is if you know this person's dramatic and you know that this person's always yelling, screaming, crying, doing whatever they're doing, I don't think you can change it. I really don't. I think you just have to accept that that is the way that they are. I mean, put yourself in their shoes. Maybe they, or try to put yourself in their shoes. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know what's gone on in their lives. Maybe they were raised that that is what, and taught that that is what I need to do in order to get what I want in my house. Maybe they were modeled that behavior and that's what somebody else did. And they said, oh, I'm going to start doing that. Or maybe they have a lot of unresolved hurt feelings inside and they need to start going to therapy. I mean, I don't know why people are like that. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I am just your friend here to remind you that you can do this, sharing the information from doctors, therapists, and other professionals with you guys that I find useful, that is available to the public, because I don't know why this kind of thing happens, but I do know that it's out there. And I think something that you can do is you can take off of your plate the feeling that you need to change them. And, oh, I can help them. I can do it. Just don't. You can always be kind. You can always lend a helping hand when you are available to, but you cannot say things like, oh, I wish they would do this and I wish they would do that, because you know what? They probably won't. And it sucks. But let's go to number 2. Anticipate difficult situations. Spend some time reflecting on the drama that's occurred and who has caused it in the past. Often there's patterns and repeat offenders, and recognizing when you're most vulnerable can help you prepare and create a plan to use the following strategies when you'll need them the most. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. I had a coworker once who had very repetitive behaviors, and she always acted the same. And every time we thought, oh my God, she's coming around, she wasn't. And it was really disappointing every single time. So we just kind of had to understand that there might be things that we need to ask of her because we work together and we have to. And they just it might not go well. And that's all right, because we know the way she is. And again, going back to number 1, we can't change that. So keep that in mind, you guys. And then with this one comes number 3, stay calm. The key to dealing with drama makers, whether it's your family, friends, I'm adding in that part, is to stay calm and not feed into it. I'm going to repeat that. The key to dealing with drama makers is to stay calm and not feed into it. They are looking for you to react, and to react in a big way. Ooh. They truly want you to drop everything and focus on them. Your goal is to let the drama wash over you like a wave, but not pull you under. Deep breathing, grounding exercises, mantras, and other anxiety reducing strategies can help. Wow. I feel that one on such a deep level. I had a friend. We are not friends anymore because this friend did not respect my boundaries. I have no ill will towards this friend. And if this friend ever listens to this podcast, I'm sorry, but this is how I felt. I had a friend once. Anything she wanted, that was it. That was the way it had to go. It didn't matter if I had a family thing. It didn't matter if I already had other plans. It didn't matter if I wasn't feeling good. She always wanted something, and it needed to happen on her dime. And even if I gave her the best reason as to why I couldn't, where in my head, it makes total sense that I can't come over because I have a fever. It makes total sense I can't come and do this because I'm supposed to go to a wedding. Or it makes total sense that I can't do this with you because I already said to this person yesterday I would see them, but I'm happy to see you tomorrow. And they still would get angry. I had to stay calm. And there was so many times that I had to just talk to my mom and be like, I don't know why she hates me so much. I don't know why she hates the fact that I can't do this or that sometimes life happens. And I just had to let it go. I had to stay calm because if I got angry too, she would have known that because I was angry, I would have struggled with my words because I would have been genuinely hurt that she was accusing me. And the conversation could have gone super south. So I've always had to learn, honestly, to stay calm and just say, you know what? I hear you. I'm really sorry that you're upset, but this is still my decision. I had a friend at work that did the same thing. She was heartbroken when I made a suggestion to her, and she really, really didn't like something that I suggested we do at work. And, she was crying, she was getting loud, she was moving her body around. And a lot of people saw it and said to her, you got to calm down. But it doesn't work. In that moment when you say like, oh, you got to be calm, you got to be calm. Like, really? That's like shaking a soda can and then being like, okay, now just stop fizzing. You can't. You can't. So what you need to do is actually you need to stay calm. Even if the person is upset for a valid reason and they're just taking it the wrong way, or they're going, again, they're going to be way too dramatic about it, you have to stay calm. The only person you can control is yourself. Go back to number one. The only person you can control is yourself. So expect now that it might not go well again the next time you talk to this person. So you need to stay calm. I love the way that Dr. Martin wrote these because they go quite literally in sequential order. All of these make sense and all of these stand true with each other. The fourth one that Dr. Martin says is physically remove yourself from the drama. Sometimes you need to put some space between you and the drama. Plan to take some breaks. Step away from the drama by going for a walk, play with the kids or your pets. I assure you it's perfectly reasonable to retreat to another room or even the bathroom for 15 minutes so you can regroup. And if things feel overwhelming, let people know you're not feeling well and go home early. This is a form of self-care, and you need to do it for yourself, even if others are unhappy with your decision to leave. Even if others are unhappy. Something that I think resonates a lot and kind of partners with drama is people pleasing. The safe people, like me, we can be people pleasers, can't we? We don't want to see the drama happen. We don't want to see you overreact and yell and scream and cry because I don't want to deal with that. I don't respond like that. So because you are, I'm just going to do something to tell you to basically shut up and to avoid another bad situation. But I've just given in to you then. And I've just given you that power right back. And by doing that, I've taught you that you can talk to me like that because I will eventually give you what you want. Do not do that, guys. We cannot let dramatic, unemotionally stable people take advantage of us. We can't. We need to keep our boundaries clear and protect ourselves. If we can't protect ourselves, we will then become a dramatic mess. And that is not what we want. We want to be able to deal with work, to enjoy our family, to enjoy our friends, and not come home and totally vent about it and make our husbands and partners and wives and friends and family so tired of hearing us complain about all the drama when we could just be setting some boundaries. Avoid it, move away from it. One of these problem solving techniques that they teach with classroom management is called debugging. And I believe I've mentioned that on the podcast before. Debugging is a 4-step process for handling a problem. The first step is you completely ignore the person. So if I'm sitting in class on the carpet and I'm trying to listen to my teacher, but my friend next to me is whispering about these new shoes that they got, but they're talking while the teacher is talking. So I'm just going to ignore them because this is just not the time, and hopefully they'll stop. Now, the second step, my friend still hasn't stopped talking about her shoes. So now I need to protect myself because now my learning is getting impacted and I cannot focus because she's talking. Step 2 is I move away. So now I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to a different spot on the carpet. And if the teacher asks me, I'm just going to say I had to move away so I could focus. Step 3, maybe she follows me and she's like, I wasn't done telling you about my shoes. And now she's complaining about something completely different. And, so-and-so did this at recess the other day. And again, this is a very elementary school example. But now I need to tell her, hey, please stop. So step 3 is please stop. A nice way of saying, hey, not the time. I can't deal with this right now. And then the 4th step would be to tell an adult. Now, granted, hopefully all y'all listening are adults. If you're not and you are in school, please use this to your advantage. But if you are an adult, it's time to set an even further boundary and say, I need you to stop. I feel very frustrated because I have already tried to move away from you and show you that this is not the time. I need you to stop. With a little kid, it would just be a simple hand raise, say, sorry, Mrs. Hobbs, but so-and-so is talking and I cannot focus. We got to be teaching our kids these things so that way as we get older, we don't let all of this drama ruin our lives. Because it doesn't go away, like we said. You're going to encounter so many different types of people in the world. And so many people have so many amazing things about them. I genuinely believe that everybody has something beautiful to them. And it's really up to them whether they want to show their talents or show their struggles. It's really up to them. But we can't let them, no matter who it is, even if it's somebody that you have a very healthy relationship with, you can't let them ruin your boundaries and you can't live in all the drama. So remove yourself from that drama. Dr. Martin's 5th strategy is don't make it about yourself. The drama is not about you, no matter what anyone says. Another helpful thing to keep in mind is your drama-loving relative is projecting their issues, traumas, and insecurities onto you, projecting. This is how you know that I've recorded this at 9:00 at night, guys. They are projecting their issues and traumas and insecurities onto you. Yes, it's hard to not take things personally if you're used to being blamed and singled out as the problem, but try thinking about what your relative's behavior reflects about him or her instead of what it means about you. That is another thing that I am feeling on a deep level. Let's go back to the people-pleasing conversation. When somebody's angry at you, and like Dr. Martin says, they're projecting all their feelings onto you, you can't help but take it personally. You are yelling at me, so therefore I'm the problem. You are mad at something I did, so I'm the problem. You are crying right now because of something I said, so therefore I'm the problem. You're not. The problem is they don't like it. They don't like the boundary you've set. They don't like the exception that you've made. They don't like the rule that you're enforcing. But tough shit. I mean, for lack of better words, sorry, not sorry. If you need to protect yourself, let's use the example of going into the bathroom, like Dr. Martin says. If you need to use the example of going into the bathroom for 15 minutes, but you left your phone outside because you're tired of your friend calling you nonstop, and you know what? You left your phone outside of the bathroom and you're just sitting in the bathroom. You're taking a nice long bath. You're listening to some music, and you get out and there is 15 missed calls from your friend. They're going to be angry. They're going to yell at you. They're going to obsess text you and, oh my God, why aren't you answering me? You're the worst friend ever. What is wrong with you? Why can't you answer your phone? I know you have your phone. All of these things. It's not your fault. Your friend is dealing with something and it is not your fault. You deserved that 15-minute quiet, relaxing bath time. And it is a great thing that you did not bring that phone with you. We gotta make sure that we do not take other people's drama personally. In the moment, I know that's a lot easier said than done, and it's super hard to do in the moment. So maybe just walk away, say, look, I care about you, but this is not the time, and just walk away. That's going to piss them off. I'm just a heads up. It's gonna piss them off. But again, you're protecting yourself. You are being rational. You're giving yourself the time to really think about what's going on. And then you can come back and talk to them probably when you both have calmed down a little bit, but at least when you've calmed down and you're not so hurt anymore. And they may still be riled up and on a level 10 and you're at a level 2, but at least you know that you're being rational. Something my therapist always says is you can't fight a rational brain with an emotional brain, but it's always important to remain rational because you know that at the end of the day, what you're doing is the right thing for you. And that's really all you can do. Protect yourself. Stay in your own lane is actually number 6. And Dr. Martin says that this is a 12-step saying. That means focus on yourself and don't get overly concerned about what others are doing. You shouldn't take responsibility for solving other people's problem. Chances are you aren't anyway. However, when you think you can or should intervene, you'll get sucked into other people's drama. Even though it's hard to sit by and watch other people in pain, don't make it your job to fix or change the situation. If someone tries to draw you in, you can even say, I'm actually working on staying in my own lane. I love that. Say it out loud. Tell them. Look, I'm normally a major people pleaser. I always want to see people happy. I hate it when people are mad at me. I don't like it if I've hurt somebody's feelings. I hear that all the time, especially the phrase, I hate it when people are mad at me, because I also don't enjoy when people are mad at me. And quite frankly, I think that's a very common saying. I don't think anybody enjoys it when somebody is mad at them. And if you do, then you're probably one of the people who we are referring to that we are trying to avoid. But it's honestly so true. Say it out loud. Say, look, I normally don't like it when this happens, but this is really important to me, and this is a boundary I'm going to have to keep. You don't even have to look at them when you say it. You can close your eyes. You can kind of do that thing where you look down a little bit, but you got to get those words out of your mouth. Let people know that you are staying in your own lane because it is time for you to protect yourself from that drama. Avoid it when you can. You can even say things like, look, I love you, but my plate's too full right now. Could we maybe talk about something else, or could we change the subject? And if it's somebody who really loves you, they will definitely respect you and respect that and say, oh my gosh, yes, I'm sorry. Let's talk about something else. Or, okay, but like, I really need to vent about this. Then say, I hear you. You know what though? I gotta go, but please call somebody else and let them know what you're going through, because if it's really bothering you that much, I'm sure there's someone who's willing to listen. But like I said, my plate is full. And this actually leads me to Dr. Martin's 7th strategy, which is maintaining clear boundaries. Your dramatic relative or friend probably lacks boundaries, which means you're going to need super clear and consistent boundaries yourself. They feel entitled to hijack your conversations, make demands, and think everyone's plans should revolve around them. It is your job to draw a line and let them know what's acceptable behavior and what you're willing to do. Don't compromise your health, emotional well-being, or ability to enjoy social events in order to satisfy the unreasonable demands. It's as simple as that. Your plate is full. It is your job, your responsibility to make sure that you don't add any other stuff to it. It's as simple as that, guys. I know it is so much easier said than done. I know. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, I feel like this year for me has been a major test of setting boundaries, to be quite honest. At first, I was just like, why am I always the one that has all the people in my life who are so dramatic? I'm not. I'm one of many people who deals with dramatic people. And I am honored that I am considered one of the safe people. And unfortunately, opposites attract, and the drama comes to the safe people because they need a safe space to let it out. But my plate is full. I have other things that are important to me, like my family, my husband, my dogs, my well-being, this podcast. I can't let other people take my time and energy when I don't even have it to give. And you got to start doing the same thing. Set and maintain your clear boundaries and reinforce them every damn time. No matter how hard it is, no matter how uncomfortable it is, you take a deep breath. You can use Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. Countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm sorry, but I can't do this right now. I'm sorry, but my answer is no. Don't even say I'm sorry. Just say, you know what? This is not the time. Unfortunately, I can't promise you that. You're going to have to ask me another time. Check again with me tomorrow. I can't have this conversation with you right now. There's so many things you can say. And you know what? If the other person doesn't like it, whatever. Remind yourself that. Put my words in your pocket and remember that you need to maintain your boundaries, or you will never be done with the drama. It'll always come back to you. It'll always walk on top of you. It'll always add even more to your plate and suck the life out of you. So let's do this together. Let's set those boundaries. Let's think of that person or those people in our lives that we care about. I mean, come on, this is hard because we care. If we didn't give a shit about this person, we wouldn't be here right now having this conversation. But you do care, which is why you're showing up to this conversation, because you want to make it better. And you know that the drama is going to be around all the time. And you know that that person is probably going to be around a lot. And even if they're not, I guarantee you that the small interactions you have with them are already a lot. So how are you going to deal with it? This is how. You're going to listen to the advice in this article written by Dr. Sharon Martin. You're going to take her 8 strategies and you're going to implement them. Her 8th strategy is get support. Whenever possible, enlist support. This can be another family member who would also like to remain drama-free. Or it can be a friend who's willing to debrief with you after a drama-filled event. Don't be afraid to reach out for support before, during, and after spending time with a dramatic friend or relative. I mean, mic drop. Get the help you need, guys. My therapist has been heaps of help. I mean, wow. The way that she helps me dissect the conversations I've had, talk about why certain parts that were uncomfortable for me were uncomfortable. My mom has been super helpful. My dad, my sisters, my husband, my friends at work. I mean, I have so many amazing support systems in place that I have no reason to deal with all this drama. There's just no reason for it. It's time to put our foot down. It's time to look in the mirror and smile and put your big girl pants on or your big boy pants on. Because you know what? Screw the drama, man. Right now, it's the holidays. I don't want to be dealing with the drama. I want to enjoy the holidays. And if you're listening to this and it's not the holidays, maybe it's summer, you know what? Then the weather is beautiful outside and you want to go outside and be with your friends and be with your family, and you don't want to deal with the drama. Maybe it's none of those things are important to you right now, but it is just another day and you are blessed to be alive and to be here to live it. So why are you spending all your time dealing with the drama? Come on, guys. We deserve better. And that's my ultimate goal, is to be able to bring this podcast to you and wake up something inside of you that's just been quietly like, oh, it's okay, it's fine, when you know damn well it's not. You know that you deserve better. You know that you can achieve better, and you know that there's something stopping you. So take this as me putting my hands on your shoulders and shaking you and say, I can do this. I can set my boundaries. I can verbalize my boundaries. I can maintain my boundaries. And I can live a life that is not constantly absorbed in drama. I believe in you. I'm always here for you. Like Dr. Shannon Martin said in the article, find your support system. I hope that this podcast can be a support system for you. I want nothing more than to be able to extend my hand to you and help you as much as I can. But also, I'm doing the same thing. I am the kind of person who practices what I preach. And you know what? I am also done with the drama. I'm also going to be setting boundaries and practicing what I preach. I'm going to make sure that I put myself first and make sure that my plate is not overly full. And if it is my job. And I need to take the responsibility to start emptying it a bit. And you can too. I can't wait for the next episode with you guys. Thank you so much for all the feedback, for the love, the ratings, the comments, the shares. They genuinely mean the world to me, and they are what lets me continue to bring this podcast to you guys. I appreciate it so much, and I'll talk to you next time.